Legion.
I never thought the Legion would have anything for me, but they taught me about teamwork and sportsmanship, and they helped me get into college.
The American Legion. We're at work every day, serving America in so many ways. That's why I belong.
While I was overseas, the American Legion was behind me all the way, supporting me and my family back home when they needed help. Now I'm a proud member.
When I left the military, I wanted my fellow veterans to have the care and the benefits they deserve. That's why I belong to the American Legion.
I never thought the Legion would have anything for me, but they taught me about teamwork and sportsmanship, and they helped me get into college.
The American Legion. We're at work every day, serving America in so many ways. That's why I belong.
While I was overseas, the American Legion was behind me all the way, supporting me and my family back home when they needed help. Now I'm a proud member.
When I left the military, I wanted my fellow veterans to have the care and the benefits they deserve. That's why I belong to the American Legion.
I never thought the Legion would have anything for me, but they taught me about teamwork and sportsmanship, and they helped me get into college.
The American Legion. We're at work every day, serving America in so many ways. That's why I belong.
Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Pender's Field in Stratford, Connecticut. Due to a technical glitch, we couldn't start this game on time. We apologize for that, and we're actually in the bottom of the first inning with Trumbull coming to bat. Stratford is the visiting team for this Game 2 of the regional series, and Stratford was defeated yesterday by Trumbull by the score of 3-2. On the mound right now for Stratford is Pat Brown. Behind the plate is Zach Dunkel. John Brooks at first base. Anthony Wojcinski at second. Neil Velasquez at shortstop. Zach Pirro at third base. Christian Bradley in left. Anthony Herman in center field. Rick Starkey for Stratford in right field. Leading off for Trumbull's the second baseman, Dustin Segura. He'll be followed by Vinny DeRubis, the first baseman. Jack Lynch, the shortstop, will bat third, and there's a pop-up in the infield by Segura, and it is called for by the third baseman. He's having a little trouble getting it now. Now he backs up and makes the catch. So one up, one down here in the bottom of the first inning. Alex Rosso will be the cleanup hitter. He's the catcher. Dan Richowski, the right fielder, will bat fifth. Andrew Loiko, the third baseman, bats sixth. Anthony Sochi, the center fielder, would bat seventh. And batting eighth is Jake Texera, the designated hitter. And batting ninth is Dan Cellini, the left fielder. First pitch to the right-handed hitting Vinny DeRubis is down low for a ball. We're at Pender's Field, Stratford, Connecticut, in this American Legion game between Trumbull, the 5 seed. They finished the season in second place in their Zone 4 behind Greenwich. Their regular season record was 22-4, and they beat North Haven 3-0 and to get where they are today. And then they beat Stratford yesterday by the score of 3-2. Stratford won Zone 2 with a record of 7-6, and now time is called by the home plate umpires. DeRubis steps back in. The righty bats right on that line, and they're saying that's a strike. Right on the batter's box line, so he crowds just a little bit, and he wiggles that black bat over his head, and there's a ball down low, and that's going to be ball 4 as the ball bounces up towards the backstop and is retrieved by the catcher, Dunkel. So Trumbull has their first base runner of the game. And with one out now, come up to bat is Jack Lynch, the big left-handed shortstop for Trumbull. We saw Jack come in relief and pitch in that game against North Haven in the sectionals when he came in to shut the door. And there, I think it was 3-0 win over North Haven. So there's the first pitch up and out for ball 1. This Stratford team is a combination of Stratford High School players, Bunnell High School and Stratford players, a couple of St. Joe's players, one prep player. It's a hard ground ball going to second baseman. He gets it, but nobody's covering first. Now the throw to first is in time as the first baseman was able to recover. A hard ground ball that got past the diving first baseman. And then the second baseman got it, and the first baseman, luckily, was able to get back in time. So score that one 4-3, but on the play, Vinny DeRubis goes down to second base. And that'll bring up the catcher, Alex Rosso, with a runner in scoring position now, being Vinny DeRubis. And here's the first pitch, the curveball to Rosso, and it's in there for strike 1. Trumbull in their navy blue shirts, red lettering. Some of their players have navy blue stretch socks, some of them with white stripes around the calf of the stretch socks. Here's the pitch, fastball way up high. So it's 1 ball, 1 strike now to Anthony Rosso. Trumbull in the first base dugout, even though they're the home team for this second game. And should they win this game, they will move on to the Super Regionals. There's a line drive, base hit into left field. They're going to send the runner home. Here comes the throw, and it's all the way into the plate, but it will not be in time as a diving Vinny DeRubis scores. So Alex Rosso with an RBI. First hit of the game for Trumbull, and they lead it here in the bottom of the first inning, 1-0. And that's going to bring up Dan Rachowski, the right fielder. And now working from the stretch is Brown. He kicks high and deals way up high to the backstop, but it bounces back a little. Rosso will go to second base, and that's going to be a wild pitch by Pat Brown. No chance for the catcher, Zach Dunkel, that time to get that ball. Interesting circumstances here today is there's a couple of St. Joe's players on each team. Zach Dunkel, the catcher from Stratford, was St. Joe's catcher this year. He talked to his pitcher, Pat Brown. He comes back towards home plate. So Trumbull's striking early here in the first inning. Rachowski from the left side, about a foot off home plate. And there's the first pitch is in there for strike one, rather. Yep, no scoreboard here at Stratford. Stratford's Penders Field. It's an entirely artificial turf field except for the mound, which is dirt. There's a hard foul ball down the right field line. Carries a long way. But it's just a long strike, and Rosso will trot his way back to second base. The way they did it here was the infield grass area is painted green. It's green, and then the baseline and around home plate in the infield are all colored brown, even though it's artificial turf. And here's the two-strike pitch. It just misses outside. And Pat Brown looks in for the sign. And he comes set with his glove right around waist high, and there's the pitch, and it's outside. Stratford has gray shirts, gray pants, navy blue socks or black socks. Looks a little bit perhaps black socks, and they're black lettering or navy blue lettering. There's a fly ball to right center, and standing right there and making the catch for the third out of the inning is the center fielder, Anthony Herman. Well, for Trumbull here in the bottom of the first inning, they come up with one run on one hit. There were no errors, and they left one runner on base. We'll be back with the top of the second inning after these important messages. The score, Trumbull 1 and Stratford 0.
The American Legion. We're a powerful force for the nation. We're the largest veterans service organization in the nation. We're committed to making sure all veterans receive the benefits they deserve for the sacrifices they've made in service to America. If you're a veteran in need of help or support, please contact us. Go to legion.org to find out more about the American Legion's commitment of service to America.
While I was overseas, the American Legion was behind me all the way, supporting me and my family back home when they needed help. Now I'm a proud member.
When I left the military, I wanted my fellow veterans to have the care and the benefits they deserve. That's why I belong to the American Legion.
I never thought the Legion would have anything for me, but they taught me about teamwork and sportsmanship, and they helped me get into college.
The American Legion. We're at work every day, serving America in so many ways. That's why I belong.
While I was
Well, on the mound for Trumbull, American Legion is one of the aces, if not the ace, of St. Joe's this year. That's Mike D'Agostino. Behind the plate is Alex Rosso. Vinny DeRubis at first, Justin Segura at second, Jack Lynch at short, Andy Loico at third. Cellini, Sochi, and Rachowski rounds it out in the outfield. Leading off for Stratford here is going to be Zach Perot. He's the number 4 hitter. In the top of the first, Connor Anstis led off. He grounded to third. Neil Velasquez grounded to short, and Anthony Herman struck out. So Zach Perot, big third baseman, steps in. He takes a first pitch fastball strike from the right-hander, D'Agostino. D'Agostino has a variety of pitches, curve, fastball, changeup. So he winds from the first base side of the rubber, throws another fastball. It's a grounder that's going to chop towards second base. He'll have to hurry, and he does. And he makes the play as Justin Segura. Perot, not the fastest guy on the team for Stratford, but he is one of the strongest. As he hits that ball, bounded over the mound and this artificial turf, you're going to see a lot of those clean bounces go up in the air. Well, Rich Starkey steps in, the right fielder now. for Stratford. He'll be followed by, I'm sorry, that's Vancho, I guess. It's a substitution. Excuse me, hang on one second. Wait a minute. What's his first name?
Oh, Tyler.
Thank you. It's Tyler Vancho steps in now instead of Rich Starkey. Sorry about that. I was getting tapped on my shoulder. As now the left-handed hitting Tyler Vancho is up at the plate. And I'll try to get that count in a second as that ball goes down low. As Vancho taps that bat on home plate and wiggles his bat around and he gets ready to go. So there must have been a late substitution there. Here's the pitch, and that's chopped foul right at home plate. Vancho wears his stirrups, high with it's like black stirrups with white stripes going around. It looks like those are navy blue lettering on their chest. He steps back in with those white batting gloves. Blue and black helmet, powder blue on the beak. And here's D'Agostino's pitch. And there's a ground ball back to the mound. It's off D'Agostino's glove and ricochets to the left. Segura will have to hurry to get him, and he throws it. Did he get him or no? And I'm going to call that one an infield single. It looked like it was a very, very tough play to make. So with one out, there's a runner on first now for Stratford. That was a tough one. It went off D'Agostino's glove, ricocheted to the left of Segura, who had been running towards the second base area. Then he had to switch gears and sprint back to the left to try to make a play. So Adam Wojcinski steps in now, the second baseman. As short lead over at first base by Vancho. And here's the pitch. It's in there for strike right at the knees. Wojcinski didn't really like it too much. And he steps back in. About an even stance in the middle of the batter's box. And from the stretch now, with his glove up near his face, is D'Agostino, and their ball's pulled fouled on the left field line. Well, all across Connecticut today, there's regional games going on our sister channel over here at SportingNewsCT.com. We have a video game going on right now between Meriden and Cheshire at Cheshire High School. Cheshire won the first game 1-0, scoring their run in the bottom of the seventh inning to take a 1-0 lead in their regional. D'Agostino comes set now, and he bobs his head a few times and slide steps and delivers a fastball right into it for strike three. Well, he didn't take the bat off his shoulder, and Wojcinski goes down looking. It's the second strikeout of the game so far for Mike D'Agostino here in the second inning. And that's going to bring up Jonathan Brooks, the first baseman. Jonathan with a wide stance. Here's his first pitch to him, is down low for a ball. As I said, the only area on this field that has any dirt is on the pitcher's mound. Everything else is artificial turf, so I can imagine it's 91 degrees here in Connecticut. Even though we're towards the shoreline. Here's the pitch. It's a hard ground ball. Gets through to third baseman. And that ball was scorched, so I'm going to score that one in a single. Because that one flew past the third baseman. So Brooks rips it down to third base, and runners are now at first and second with 2 outs. And that's going to bring up Christian Bradley, the left fielder. And he steps in from the right-handed batter's box, deep in the box. D'Agostino checks the runner at second and deals. Fastball up and in for ball one. Not a very tall pitcher, but he sure can bring it. There's that mound about 10 inches above ground level as he rubs the ball up and then gets back on the pitching plate. Slightly towards the middle of the rubber. Runner on first is Brooks, and there's a foul ball into the screen. We're perched here down to third baseline, not really that far down there, to the right of the third base dugout. D'Agostino wiggles the ball behind his back, and now he looks in for the sign. He takes 3 of them. Only he and the catcher know which one counts. With the glove near his chin, he looks and now deals. There's a swing and a miss, a late swing, late reaction by the hitter. So he's now got 2 strikes on the batter. Runners at second base is Tyler Vancho. Jonathan Brooks at first base. D'Agostino comes set, wiggles that glove till he stops, and there's another foul ball. That one Carries off behind, went over the backstop. The way this field is situated, you have the football field is from right field all the way to deep left center. With the football stands way out there. That's a poke and a half. And there's another foul ball right side out of play. And behind home plate and around the backstop is a red cushion. That's about 3 feet high. And then you have a metal backstop. It goes up about 30 feet. Here's the pitch now as he comes set and delivers. That one's up high for a ball. Little wind here in Stratford, Connecticut. I think it's 2 balls, 2 strikes now. Runners at first and second, 2 outs here in the second. There's a change of some sort. And it floats inside for a ball. He was trying to get him. So I believe it's full count now. The runners will be going. Vancho on second base straddles off. Now he goes. Here's the pitch. It's blooped out over the shortstop's head. That's going to score a run. And the runners are now, here goes the throw to third. Do they got him? And yes, they do, as he's thrown out trying to go from first to third. So the runs count, obviously. That's a base hit to left with an RBI. So Vancho scores, and Brooks is out stretching. That'll do it here in the top of the second for Stratford. They tie the game up, and they get 1 run on a total of 3 hits. There were no errors. They leave 1 runner on base. We'll be back with the bottom of the second inning. We're all tied up here from Penders Field in Stratford, Connecticut. Stratford 1, Trumbull 1.
The American Legion was behind me all the way, supporting me and my family back home when they needed help. Now I'm a proud member.
When I left the military, I wanted my fellow veterans to have the care and the benefits they deserve. That's why I belong to the American Legion.
I never thought the Legion would have anything for me, but they taught me about teamwork and sportsmanship, and they helped me get into college.
The American Legion.
We're a powerful force for the nation. We're the largest veterans service organization in the nation. We're committed to making sure all veterans receive the benefits they deserve for the sacrifices they've made in service to America. If you're a veteran in need of help or support, please contact us. Go to legion.org to find out more about the American Legion's commitment of service to America.
Welcome back here to Penders Field. Well, Stratford tied it up in the top of the second inning. Tyler Vancho got an infield single. After Wojcinski struck out, Brooks got a single, and then Christian Bradley came up with a big single on RBI, but trying to hustle over to third base was Brooks, and he was thrown out 8-5 by the center fielder. So leading it off here in the bottom of the second inning with the score tied is Andrew Loiko, and he plays third base for Trumbull. Trumbull's had the more difficult route to get here, as Trumbull, the number 2 seed, while they were second in Zone 4 behind Greenwich. So they had to wait 1 game. North Haven knocked off, I believe it was Guilford or Hamden. I think it was Guilford. And there's a foul ball into the screen. I'm sorry, North Haven defeated Bethel 2-1, and then they lost to Trumbull 3-0 this past Sunday. There's the 0-1 count now. The pitch by Brown is fouled back into the backstop, so 2 strikes now to the third baseman, Andrew Loiko. So we said there's other games all around the state. There's 8 of them going on approximately right now. One of them started earlier. Most started earlier. This one's a 4 o'clock start. Pat Brown shakes off about 3 pitches. Now he gets the signal he wants, and he deals. Curve, that one's fouled, out of play. West Hartford defeated RCP yesterday by the score of 3-2. Those teams had played during the regular season with RCP defeating West Hartford twice, but now they're in an 0-1 hole. Here's a 2-strike, hard fastball, blew it by him. And the first strikeout of the game for Pat Brown. He put a little extra on that. And Loiko chased it. That'll bring up the center fielder, Anthony Sochi. Sochi wears those stretch socks high and steps into the right-hander's batter's box. Deep in the box, as deep as you can go. Looks like a small painted batter's box, actually. And there's a strike 1 on a curve. Well, so Willimantic defeated South Windsor yesterday, so they'll play game 2 today up at Willimantic. Those games go in at approximately 3 o'clock, I believe. So they're all underway. There's a fastball inside, so the count evens at 1 ball, 1 strike. Southington's at Avon again. Avon won yesterday 3-0. Willimantic defeated South Windsor yesterday 3-2. There's a ball in the dirt. basically hit the plate, bounced up into Dunkel. Waterford plays at Tolland today. Have no score in last night's game. There's a swing and a miss, and that one was low. But Sochi chased it, so he's got 2 strikes on him now. And yesterday, Cheshire defeated Meriden, scoring in the bottom of the 7th. There's a swing and a miss, another high fastball strikeout for Pat Brown as he just tries to gas it up and throw it in the eyes of the batter. And 2 batters in a row chased it. With 2 outs, that's going to bring up the designated hitter, Jake Texera. Big tall man. He has those optic yellow, black stripe spikes on. Can't wear metal spikes here at Penders Field. All rubber cleats. Only rubber cleats are allowed. His first pitch goes all the way to the backstop, ricochets, and goes back out onto the field. It's a deep, deep ballpark here. Very difficult to hit it out, especially in the right field. Right center field looks like it just carries for about 500 feet out there at the end of the football field. And here's the pitch, and did he go? Yes, he did. He tried to hold it, but couldn't. There's Dunkel, goes back into the catching position and wiggles his sign. Brown winds and deals another curveball. This one misses outside. Brown, like D'Agostino, not a very tall pitcher, but he can bring it when he wants to. And here's the other one, it's down low for a ball. I think it's 2-1 now to Jake Texera. And there's a pitch, just misses. That was 3-1. So Texera walks. They got a 2-out base runner. Second walk of the game so far for Brown. Here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Trumbull is the home team, although we're playing at Penders Field in Stratford because it's a best-of-3 series. Stratford was the home team yesterday. They lost to Trumbull 3-2. And here's the left-handed hitting Dan Cellini comes up, and then he rips one into right field. That's going to get past a diving second baseman. I tell you, the ball travels awfully quickly on this artificial turf field. So runners are at first and second with 2 outs. That's the second hit for Trumbull here this afternoon. Game time was 4 o'clock. We got underway just into the bottom of the first, so we had some technical difficulties here getting the stream going. Can be tricky getting these streams on the internet running sometimes. Well, Dustin Segura steps up for the 2nd time today, takes a curveball for a strike. Dustin popped up to 3rd, his first time up. Greenwich in the South, we forgot a little bit about the Southern division of the state tournament. There's a line drive into left center. It's sinking, and a diving center fielder. Did he hang on to it? Yes, he did. Beautiful play by Anthony Herman out in center field to rob Dustin Segura of a base hit. Scored that one L8, and that'll do it here for Trumbull in the bottom of the 2nd inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. 2 runners left on base for Trumbull. That's their 2nd and 3rd runners left on base this afternoon. We'll be going to the top of the 3rd inning. We're all tied at 1 here at Penders Field.
SportingNewsCT.com is now streaming your team's big game. SportingNewsCT.com is Connecticut's broadcast home for high school sports, college sports, and American Legion baseball. Whether it's football, soccer, basketball, hockey, baseball, softball, or lacrosse, we stream it live. Can't watch the game live? Then check out our on-demand rebroadcast. Want a keepsake? Download an audio broadcast or order a DVD. There's more. SportingNewsCT.com features interviews with coaches, players, and administrators. The game's on. SportingNewsCT.com. SportingNewsCT.com.
I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's because they know what I'm going through. They've been here before, and when I looked into it, I just...
Well, back here at Penders Field, we await the start of the 3rd inning. As we said, all across Connecticut, there are regional tournament games going on at various sites. Stanford yesterday upset the top seed, and they defeated Oakville 6-0, and they're playing again today in Game 2 of that series at Taft High School in Watertown, Connecticut. Greenwich defeated Middletown 8-1. As we said, Cheshire defeated Meriden, and then Trumbull defeated Stratford. Well, the top of the 3rd inning, there's a pop-up in the infield. And that was hit by Zach Dunkel, the catcher, and the 3rd baseman gets it. And he fights off the sun and be able to get that. So 1 pitch, 1 out here. The top of the 3rd inning for Stratford. Stratford won. This is the second year in a row that they've won Zone 2. I think it's the second year in a row that they defeated Orange in order to get here. Orange has a few of those players from Amity, a double L team from Woodbridge, Bethany, and Orange, that perennial champions usually in Class double L in the Connecticut. There's a curveball, D'Agostino for strike one. The leadoff hitter, Connor Anstis. Connor grounded to third his first time up. 1 out, top of the third, score all tied at 1. Curveball, and that's strike 2. Anstis didn't think so, thought it was inside, but that one broke. Didn't have a tight spin on it, but it was enough to cut the inside part of the plate. D'Agostino winds and deals. Another curveball. This one's hit hard into deep short. Backhanding is Lynch. Long throw to first, and he makes it. Pretty play that time by Jack Lynch, deep in the shortstop. He was benefited by the fact the ball gets there quite quickly on this artificial turf, as that one rolled right into his backhanded glove fast, so gives him a little extra time to get that ball over to first. So with 2 outs, up comes Neil Velasquez, as Neil grounded to short his first time up. Here's the first pitch from D'Agostino. Line drive, base hit down the left field line, but getting there very quickly is Danny Cellini. So first pitch fastball, and Velasquez ropes it in there. That's their third hit of the game. So with 2 outs, Anthony Herman steps up to the plate now to the number 3 batter for Stratford. All wooden bats here in Connecticut American Legion play. Can't even have a composite bat, as only regular wood is allowed. It became an issue in some of the later games in the tournament last year. His batters thought they could use composite woods, which they're not allowed, even if they're BB Corps certified. First pitch to the lefty is in there. Nope, it's inside for ball 1. And that secondary lead by Velasquez almost tempted the catcher Rosso, who will throw it down there. A little bit tougher with the left-handed batter up. D'Agostino checks the runner at first, now comes set. Bobs his head once, throws a fastball. It's tipped into the glove of Rosso. First strike. So it's 1 ball, 1 strike now. 2 outs, top of the third, 1-1. Stratford must win this game to stay alive in the state tournament. And here's the 1-1 pitch. Slide stepping, the runner goes. Rosso's throw is a bullet, and did he get him on the head? Yes, he did. And he did get it. It was a high tag, but the runner didn't get to the base in time. So Rosso with the rocket throw down to second base gets Neil Velasquez attempting to steal. So there were no runs. There was a hit. There were no errors. Nobody left on base. We're going to the bottom of the third. We're still all tied at 1.
Not only have I learned a lot of speaking skills,
meeting these 50 other incredibly talented people,
but most of all, I think you learn a lot about yourself.
You're able to grow in so many ways.
Learning about public speaking.
You also gain a tremendous amount of friendships.
It's a nice bonus.
That's definitely a plus, I'm not going to lie.
Is definitely something that is on my mind.
It's such a great document.
It guarantees me so many liberties and freedoms.
It's looking out for me.
The significance that I place on voting.
The 8th Amendment, which deals with cruel and unusual punishment.
My comparison of the Constitution to a lens.
Well, 2 games being broadcast today on SportingNewsCT.com. The second game is Meriden against Cheshire. That game, a video game with Don Boyle on the call. And I'm Steve Riley here at Penders Field in Stratford, Connecticut, under a cloudless sky. The hot sun, as I was driving down, it was 92 degrees. I can't imagine what it is on the playing field with that artificial turf. First pitch is a curve to Vinny DeRubas, who lead it off here in the bottom of the third, and it's a ball 1. And Pat Brown winds and deals. Fastball, swing and a miss. As that one was nice and low, right below the knees, and DeRubas chased it. As he asked for time with his right hand back, he's given it. Now he's set to go. Brown trying to work quickly. He does. He throws it inside, nearly hits DeRubas on the left shoulder. So he pushes him off home plate a little bit, and DeRubas steps back in. And here's the pitch. Took a little bit off that, and that's a strike. as Brown tried to get him on a change a little bit, and he did fool him just ever so slightly. And there's a curve. There's a ground ball to third, and fielded it by Perot, and all the way to first for the out. And that's going to bring up the lefty Jack Lynch. Jack had grounded out to second his last time up. Jack about 6'3", wears those stretch socks high, right below the knees. There's that game we saw, a good one pitched by Trumbull here when they defeated North Haven on Sunday. The winning pitcher in that game was Andrew Loico, and Lynch got the save. Loico had a stellar performance that day as he pitched 6 innings of shutout ball. And here's the 1-0 to Lynch, up high.
Come on, Pat. You got 2 outs. Come on.
Now it's 2-0. And here's the pitch. Takes something off it, and it's a ball, though. Just missed. A little bit above the waist and out. So Brown in danger of walking Lynch. And here's the pitch. Takes something off it, throws it right down Broadway. Big gap out there in right center. One thing about this field, if that ball gets in the gaps, it will roll. So pop up in foul ground. That looks like it's going to float out of play, and it does. Floated out to the bullpen area down the left field line. As Lynch now steps back in. You know, with wooden bats, the outfielders like to play shallow, especially Trumbull. But if that ball should get through that gap, it's going to roll a long way, especially center field. And there's a line shot into it right at the second baseman. He jumps up a little bit and snags it. Pretty play by Anthony Wojcinski. As you can hear that on a crowd mic, the crack of that bat. That ball was hit hard. It's going to bring up the cleanup hitter, Alex Russo. Alex is 1 for 1. Got an RBI single in the first inning. As he steps back in with those rubber cleats. And here's the pitch. It's inside for ball 1. You can look at home plate and you can see a lot of those the fake dirt, crunched up tires or cut up tire pieces all over the place, so it looks like there's dirt there, but there's not. As there's the ball inside, up high, so it's 2-0 to Alex. Alex is stout, looks like he could be a fullback on the football team. Slightly open stance, and here's the 2-0. It's up high for 3-0. 3-0 to Rosso with 2 outs. Trumbull's had a 2-out base runner in the first 2 innings. See if they get one here. And that one's upstairs. And Rosso is on. It's 3 walks in the game so far for Pat Brown. And with 2 outs, that's going to bring up Danny Wachowski, the right fielder, who also bats left-handed, as did Jack Lynch. So Brown will work from the stretch now. So he looks in for the sign from Dunkel. Then he checks the runner at first. Comes set. His glove is actually below his waist. Now he kicks up and throws, and in there for strike 1. I tell you, he's got to kick quick, or that runner. Not that Russo is a real threat to steal. Trumbull's catcher, but he doesn't have a very big lead either. About 2 steps, maybe 2.5. And here's the pitch, and it's chopped between first and the pitcher. It rolls, and will they get it back in time? And they say he's safe. So an infield single by Dan Wachowski. He hit it in that no-man's land area between second base, pitcher, and first baseman. And he beats it out. And with 2 outs, Trumbull now has a runner in scoring position. And Andrew Loico is coming up. Andrew got a big base hit in that game against North Haven in his 3-0 pitching victories. It takes first pitch curve for strike. Andrew sporting that full beard as he wiggles that bat above the back of his helmet. And here's the 0-1, his fastball in there for strike 2. Loico shakes his head a little bit, but he steps back in. So 0-2 now, 2 outs. Bottom of the 3rd inning, we're all tied at 1. Pat Brown comes set, checks the runner at second base, and deals way up high at 1-2. Loico struck out his first time up. On first base is Wachowski. Second is Anthony Rosso. Here's the 1-2, and then, that one missed. Not by much. Tough pitch to take. 2 strikes, so it's 2-2 as Brown thought he had it. As he steps back down the rubber again. And now comes set. His glove is below his waist from his set position. Here's a curveball. That one's tipped, but it's not caught by Dunkel. It just slips out of his glove. So count remains at 2-2 to Andrew Loiko. Runners lead off their respective bases at first and second base. Second baseman just pounds his glove a little bit to keep the runners honest. There's a curveball that's blooped out into left field, but it's playable, and he'll make the catch. It's a soft line drive by Loiko to 7, and that does it here. When I say 7, that's the number that they call left field. So for Trumbull, in the bottom of the third inning, they threatened but come up empty. They had no runs. There was a hit. There were no errors. And again, they left 2 runners on base. That's their 4th and 5th runners left on base here this evening, or actually this afternoon. Will be evening pretty quick. We finished 3 full innings here from Penders Field in Stratford, Connecticut. We're all tied. Stratford 1 and Trumbull 1.
Not only have I learned a lot of speaking skills,
Meeting these 50 other incredibly talented people,
But most of all, I think you learn a lot about yourself.
you're able to grow in so many ways.
Learning about public speaking.
you also gain a tremendous amount of friendships.
It's a nice bonus.
That's definitely a plus, I'm not going to lie.
Is definitely something that is on my mind.
It's such a great document.
It guarantees me so many liberties and freedoms.
It's looking out for me.
The significance that I place on voting.
The 8th Amendment, which deals with cruel and unusual punishment.
My comparison of the Constitution to a lens.
Well, back at Penders, starting off the top of the 4th will be Andrew Herman, who just made that last catch. And the left-handed batter, it's Anthony Herman. He'll step up to the plate now for the second time. Struck out his first time up. As he stretches out, as he's on his way walking around the batter's box, or around the catcher's area to go to the left side. Well, this Zone 4, which Trumbull is part of, has gotten 3 teams in the regionals. Stanford, a third-place team. It's a curveball low, and they say to hit him. So you heard the coaching staff, or at least I did, between innings, tell his team he wants base runners to set the table. As now there's a hit batter, leads it off, so Stratford, for the first time today, will have their leadoff hitter on base. And up comes another lefty hitter, power-hitting Zach Perot. Grounded to second, his first time up, and he takes a fastball outside. So it's 1-0 now. Mike D'Agostino on the mound, the pitcher for St. Joseph's High School this year. Did a great job for that team. And here's the pitch. There's a line drive down the left field line. It's going a long way. It's going to be bounced in for a hit. Rounding second and going to third. And will he stay there? And yes, he will. The throw is no throw to second, and getting a sliding double is Zach Perot now, as Anthony Herman scoots all the way to third base. So now there'll be no outs and runners on second and third for Stratford. As Tyler Vancho will step up. He got a infield single his last time up. 4th hit of the day for Stratford off D'Agostino, as he now comes set to pitch to the left-hand hitting Vancho. Ball 1, up and out. Vancho got an infield single his last time up. So he'll try to rip it through that infield to put his team ahead. Here's the 1-0, and there's a ground ball to second. Staying there, the runner at third to throw over to first, and they make the play. So Segura fields that ball right where he was standing and throws it to first for the first out. Brings up Adam Wojcinski, who struck out his first time up looking. So Trumbull brings the infield up. I can't say on the grass, just on the area where the green is marked, the green grass area. First pitch is slowly pulled into his own dugout. Off the fence in front of the dugout for strike 1. Trumbull has everybody up. That's DeRubis at first, Segura at second, Lynch at short, Loiko at third. They're all trying to cut the run around at the plate. There's a long fly ball to left center, and that's going to be a tough one. It's going to drop in for a hit. 1 run's going to score. Here comes the throw. A second run's going to score. A stand-up 2 RBI double for Adam Wojcinski, and Stratford takes a 3-1 lead.
Keep the line moving. That boy, Zach, we're here down the other way.
So Herman scored, Perot scored, and now with 1 out, Wojcinski's on second.
Come on, Jonathan, get a good pitch.
That's their 5th hit of the day for Stratford. And there's a swing and a miss on a slow curve. Jonathan Brooks, the first baseman, who got a single his first time up and then was thrown out at third base. So Stratford leads it here by the score of 3-1. There's another curve in the dirt and swinging and missing again. There's Jonathan Brooks. And now we're going to get some activity in the Trumbull bullpen. The pitcher goes down to throw. And here's the 0-2 pitch, and it's a fastball hit down the third baseline, foul. 3-1, top of the 4th. Trumbull now trailing. 2 doubles this inning, one by Zach Perot and another one by Adam Wojcinski. That was a 2 RBI double for Adam, who struck out looking his first time up. And it's a double as he pulls it hard down the left field line. So 0-2 now. Brooks has trouble with that breaking ball. Here's another one. He swings and misses. So Brooks goes down, 3 of the curveballs from D'Agostino. Now he breaks his bat on his way back to the dugout. Can't blame the bat. Because up comes Christian Bradley now. Don't see that too often where a hitter can break a bat. It's been made out of bamboo. Here's a curve in there for strike 1. The number 8 hitter, Christian Bradley, got a single to left field in with an RBI's first time up. And here's the 0-1, another curve. It's in there for a strike. So D'Agostino trying to pepper these lower batting order players with curveballs. See if he comes back with a fastball now. And nope, another curve, swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 strikeouts in a row. That was a 4th for D'Agostino. But the damage is done as Stratford gets a total of 2 runs on 2 hits. There were no errors, and there was 1 runner left on base for Stratford. We've now finished half of the game here from Penders Field as we're going to the bottom of the 4th. Stratford now with a 3-1 lead.
Not only have I learned a lot of speaking skills,
Meeting these 50 other incredibly talented people,
But most of all, I think you learn a lot about yourself.
you're able to grow in so many ways.
Learning about public speaking.
you also gain a tremendous amount of friendships.
It's a nice bonus.
That's definitely a plus, I'm not going to lie.
Is definitely something that is on my mind.
It's such a great document.
It guarantees me so many liberties and freedoms.
It's looking out for me.
The significance that I place on voting.
The 8th Amendment, which deals with cruel and unusual punishment.
My comparison of the Constitution to a lens.
Well, back here at Penders Field, Anthony Sochi leads it off here in the bottom of the 4th, and there's 2 balls in a row, so it's 2-0 to Anthony. And Pat Brown still on the mound, throws a curveball in there for a strike.
Hey, throw a better one.
As the pitcher, who was warming up for Trumbull, has now finished his warm-ups. Brown shakes off 2 signs in a row, asks for the 3rd one, and he throws that one up a foot over the batter's head.
Come on, Pat, far enough. Come on.
As Anthony Sochi, the center fielder, I've watched him in a few games. He's a very good center fielder. He covers a lot of ground out there. Slow curve, that one in the dirt. A little sidearm action that time by Pat Brown. The ball blocked off the fake dirt. There's not real dirt there. So Sochi trying to answer back. And here's another pitch. That's inside, ball 4. So your team puts up a big 2 runs for you to take the lead, and you want to shut them out, and first thing you do is walk the leadoff hitter for the other team. 4 walks issued today by Pat Brown so far. As Jake Texera, the designated hitter, walks up. He bats from the right side, and the first pitch to Jake is a strike. Inside part of the plate, right around belt high, a little bit higher than belt. Even with the bag at third is big Zach Perot. Brown looks at first, now kicks and deals. Swing and a miss. Big cut that time by Texera as he falls into a deep hole at 0-2. And here's the 0-2 pitch as Pat Brown deals. That one gets away from the catcher. And Sochi will scoot down to second base. So the 0-2 pitch was a fastball up and in, just a little bit too high. Call that one a passed ball, though. So he should have gloved it. So it's 1-2 to Jake Texera. As I said, has those spikes. They're almost like bee spikes, with these yellow and black stripes. And here it is down low. And they're saying, yes, that was right at the knee. Strike 3 called. Third strikeout of the day for Pat Brown, and we have 1 out here in the 4th. Brings up the lefty, Dan Cellini.
Come on, Pat, work hard.
Brown looks in for the sign. The runner on second. Multiple signs given, and here's the pitch. There's a ground ball to deep, short second base. Long throw to first is in time. Pretty play that time by the second baseman, Wojcinski. He went to his right, but then he ended up catching it without backhanding it on the ground. And good hustle that time by Wojcinski to make that play. But on the play, Sochi gets down to third. Up comes Vinny DeRubis, who grounded to, it looks like DeRubis, unless I'm wrong. Oh, I'm sorry, that's got to be Dustin Segura. That was Cellini who grounded out. And Segura with a runner at third now. Takes ball 1. He popped the third line to center. And here's a foul ball. Segura chased that one. Tried to rip it a long way. Dustin Segura, the quick leadoff hitter for Trumbull. Trumbull scored 167 runs in the regular season. 36 is all they've given up. And here's the pitch. Hard fastball, just missed inside. Stratford, they scored 108 runs, gave up 66. But they played less games. They played 23, I believe. There's a ground ball to short. Third baseman, though, Perot gets it. Pats his glove, throws it to first to get the play. So Trumbull threatened, but King came up empty. Here in the 4th, they got no runs. There were no hits, no errors. There was 1 runner left on base. That's Trumbull's 6th here this afternoon. We've completed 4 full innings here from Penders Field in Stratford, Connecticut, in this regional game between Stanford and Trumbull. Stratford with a 3-1 lead.
Not only have I learned a lot of speaking skills,
meeting these 50 other incredibly talented people,
but most of all, I think you learn a lot about yourself.
You're able to grow in so many ways.
Learning about public speaking.
You also gain a tremendous amount of friendships.
It's a nice bonus.
That's definitely a plus, I'm not going to lie.
Is definitely something that is on my mind.
It's such a great document.
It guarantees me so many liberties and freedoms.
It's looking out for me.
The significance that I place on voting.
The 8th Amendment, which deals with cruel and unusual punishment.
My comparison of the Constitution to a lens.
Well, back here at Penders Field, move on to the top of the fifth, and leading it off here for Stratford is Zach Dunkel, who popped to the third baseman his first time up. He's actually facing his former teammate at St. Joe's, Mike D'Agostino, who actually was, I think, St. Joe's number 1. He had a great victory this year against Richfield High School in an upset. There's a fastball up high. I mean, he swings and misses at it, so he's got 2 strikes now. And Zach Dunkel. Man, here's the pitch. Fastball right in there, strike 3. Dunkel just watched it, and he strikes out. That's the 5th strikeout of the day for D'Agostino, and he's got 3 of them in the 7, 8, 9 batters of Stratford. And leading off now, coming up to the plate now with 1 out, Connor Anstis, the designated hitter, leadoff batter. Grounded to third, grounded to short. He takes a curveball. Looks like he called it a ball. Didn't miss by much. And here's the 1-0. And there's a ground ball between third and short, and it scoots its way, rolls its way all the way out into left field. I'll tell you, when you watch these baseballs after they get hit on the ground and the way they roll, it's a perfect roll all the way to the outfield. 6th hit of the day for Stratford off of D'Agostino. 1 out. They got a runner aboard now. Neil Velasquez, who singled his last time up, steps up to the plate now. We do have a score from Cheshire High School. Cheshire has moved on to the Super Regionals as they defeated Meriden today by a score of 3-0. So Cheshire, the first team to make it, at least as far as we know, to the Super Regionals in the southern section of Connecticut. And there's a fastball strike to Velasquez, who, as we said, singled, was out trying to steal to second base his last time up. Grounded to shortstop his first time up. Straddling off first is Anstis. You got to believe that the leadoff hitter at some point is going to be running. And D'Agostino deals. That one's up high. 1-1 now to Velasquez. As the leadoff guy usually is your fastest guy who does steal bases. So he's only got about 2.5 to 3 tops step lead. As D'Agostino throws over and Anstis gets back standing up. 1 step, 2 steps, 2.5, and stops. D'Agostino comes set as Anstis inches off. Here's the pitch, inside again. You hear the chant from the Stratford dugout of "wear it" means go ahead and get hit. It's easier said than done. They don't call it a hard ball for nothing. D'Agostino steps back into the pitching plate in that hole that's developed in front of it, and he comes set now. And here's the pitch. There's a hard ground ball to short. Lynch gets, he boots it. Goes between his legs, and that's the first error of the game. As Jack Lynch made an error. He made one in that game against North Haven on Sunday, but he makes one here today. We'll see if that's a costly error. Now Anstis is down at second base. Velasquez is at first. And now there's going to be a conversation on the mound of all the infielders of Trumbull. And they're all converging on the mound, and then they all converge back. And not a single coach went in on that. So I guess this little encouragement to D'Agostino to say, hey, not your fault. Just keep pitching. That could have been a double play to end the inning. Instead, we don't have an out. So Anthony Herman struck out and got hit by a pitch his last time up. Steps in, the number 3 batter for Stratford here. Runners on first and second with only 1 out. There's the ball down low. As D'Agostino trying to pitch to the number 3 hitter, Anthony Herman, carefully, even though he struck him out his first time up and got him to and hit him. So he's 0 for 1. Here's the 1-0. It's a curve, and they're saying that one just missed. 2-0. Thought that one might have cut the inside part of the plate, but no go. And here's the 2-0 pitch, slide stepping, and it's 3-0. They throw to first behind the runner. Do they get him? No. So Rossi chucks it right behind the head of the batter, trying to get the runner at first, and he's not afraid to do it. And the runner is safe as now the first baseman, Darubas, backs up because he's defending a lefty. The 3-0 pitch is right in there for strike 1. It's almost automatic sometimes. Is crouching down low is Herman. With that low crouching stance, he leans over. Here's another fastball. That's going to be ball 4. So Herman struck out, hit by a pitch, and now walks. So first walk of the day issued by D'Agostino. But I'll tell you, it ends up with the bases loaded now, and big Zach Perreault doubled. His first time up comes up, and out walks Coach Jack McFarland, the head coach of Trumbull American Legion, to talk to D'Agostino. McFarland, the head coach, senior general manager Mark Windsor for Trumbull, assistants Bob Sorrentino, assistant general manager Bruce Pike. And that may be all for D'Agostino, and it looks like it is, as he's patting everybody's glove and somebody's walking to the dugout to change gloves. We'll be right back on the flip side, let you know who the new pitcher is for Trumbull.
Not only have I learned a lot of speaking skills,
Meeting these 50 other incredibly talented people,
But most of all, I think you learn a lot about yourself.
you're able to grow in so many ways.
Learning about public speaking.
you also gain a tremendous amount of friendships.
It's a nice bonus.
That's definitely a plus, I'm not going to lie.
Is definitely something that is on my mind.
It's such a great document.
It guarantees me so many liberties and freedoms.
It's looking out for me.
The significance that I place on voting.
The 8th Amendment, which deals with cruel and unusual punishment.
My comparison of the Constitution to a lens.
It was a way for me to continue to serve my fellow veterans and my community through the American Legion. That's why I joined. I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's because they know what I'm going through. They've been here before, and when I looked into it, I discovered that there was a way for me to continue to serve my fellow veterans and my community through the American Legion. That's why I joined. I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's because they know what I'm going through. They've been here before, and when I looked into it, I discovered that there was a way for me to continue to serve my fellow veterans and my community through the American Legion. That's why I joined. I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's because they know what I'm going through. They've been here before, and when I looked into it, I discovered that there was a way for me to continue to serve my fellow veterans and my community through the American Legion.
Well, right back here at Penders Field, we'll get that name of the pitcher for you in a second. It's a left-handed pitcher, and nobody wants to tell these broadcasters who the pitchers are or who the changes are. They just want to walk away. And there's the first pitch strike so it's lefty against lefty. There's Zach Perreault now. Steps up. And the 0-1 to Perreault. There's a ground ball through the middle, off the glove, and it could be 2, and it's going to be 1, and over to first, and is it a double play? And maybe they only get 1 as the run scores. As that's going to be a 6-3, and that's going to erase so it's runners on second and third now. With 2 outs and a run across. So Perreault gets an RBI, and we have a 4-1 lead now. As they check to see if he swung. It's another left-handed batter coming up behind him, Tyler Vancho, as a left-handed hitter. And here's the 0-1. Fastball misses inside. Well, we're checking that Trumbull roster to try to get that. So here's the pitch from the lefty. Winds and deals. There's a high bloop out to left field. Might drop in, may not. And it does drop in fair. 1 run will score. Here comes 2 runs. And a 2 RBI double down the left field line, or actually a single. And they're saying that's a foul ball. At first we thought that was going to be a double right down there, and it just missed as it hit that line. So there's a runner on second. The runners will go back to second and third. And we'll do it all again as Vancho steps back in. So that's Vinny DeRubas who's on the mound now. The lefty first baseman. We'll try to pick up who's the first baseman over there. And here's the pitch. And there's the strike. So it's 2 strikes now. Well, that one could have really hurt had it have been dropped in fair. So it's still a 4-1 game. Vancho has 2 strikes on him now as he faces DeRubas, the lefty. And here's the pitch. There's a hard base hit through the middle. That could score 2. Sochi to pick it up. 1 runner scores. And here comes the second runner, scoring easily. There's a 2 RBI 1B. Scores both Herman and Velasquez, and that's the 5th and 6th runs for Stratford here. And that's going to bring out Coach McFarland as he may make another pitching change, and he does as he has the lefties against lefties, and it looks like we will. We'll be right back this time, figure out who the new pitcher is after this.
Not only have I learned a lot of speaking skills,
Meeting these 50 other incredibly talented people,
But most of all, I think you learn a lot about yourself.
you're able to grow in so many ways.
Learning about public speaking.
you also gain a tremendous amount of friendships.
It's a nice bonus.
That's definitely a plus, I'm not going to lie.
Is definitely something that is on my mind.
It's such a great document.
It guarantees me so many liberties and freedoms.
It's looking out for me.
The significance that I place on voting.
The 8th Amendment, which deals with cruel and unusual punishment.
My comparison of the Constitution to a lens.
Not only have I learned a lot of speaking skills,
Meeting these 50 other incredibly talented people,
But most of all, I think you learn a lot about yourself.
you're able to grow in so many ways.
Learning about public speaking.
you also gain a tremendous amount of friendships.
It's a nice bonus.
That's definitely a plus, I'm not going to lie.
Is definitely something that is on my mind.
It's such a great document.
It guarantees me so many liberties.
Oh, sorry to cut off that commercial. Is the new pitcher on the mound now for Trumbull is Jared Rosen. And Rosen will come up to face Jonathan Brooks now. I'm sorry, Adam Wojcinski, rather. Wojcinski with a runner on first. It's a 6-1 ball game now. The first pitch is up high for ball 1. Wojcinski got a big 2 RBI double last inning and also struck out. He was the one that put them in the lead and ahead by 2. Now they lead by 5. And there's a ground ball fouled on the left field line. So the Stratford team now has a pretty good 6-1 lead now. They have to win this game as Trumbull won the first game of 3 yesterday. Score of 3-2. So D'Agostino now, none of these base runners are his, but all the runs were his. The base runner on first now is not his. There's a curveball, swing and a miss. Rosen put a nice, pretty curveball, tight spin in there. So with 2 outs, runner on first base, 6-1 lead now for Stratford. If you joined us from the Cheshire-Meriden game, Cheshire won that game and went on to the Super Regionals. And all he had to do is throw it down to first with the strikeout. So Wojcinski strikes out, but the damage is done. There was, and it looks like I got 3 runs, so that means that the score is 3-5-6. So they got 3 runs here in the top of the 5th inning on a total of 1 and 2 hits. 3 runs on 2 hits, and there was a big error at short. And there was 1 runner left on base for Stratford. We're going to go now to the bottom of the 5th inning. The score is Stratford now 6 and Trumbull 1.
We're a powerful force for the nation. We're the largest veterans service organization in the nation. We're committed to making sure all veterans receive the benefits they deserve for the sacrifices they've made in service to America. If you're a veteran in need of help or support, please contact us. Go to legion.org to find out more about the American Legion's commitment of service to America. The American Legion. We're a powerful force for the nation. We're the largest veterans service organization in the nation. We're committed to making sure all veterans receive the benefits they deserve for the sacrifices they've made in service to America. If you're a veteran in need of help or support, please contact us. Go to legion.org to find out more about the American Legion's commitment of service to America. The American Legion. We're a powerful force for the nation. We're the largest veterans service organization in the nation. We're committed to making sure all veterans receive the benefits they deserve for the sacrifices they've made in service to America. If you're a veteran in need of help or support, please contact us. Go to legion.org to find out more about the American Legion's commitment of service to America.
All right, back here at Penders Field, leading it off in the bottom of the 5th inning, trailing 6-1 now is Vinda Rubis. And Rubis is 1 for 2. He scored her only Trumbull run now. Pat Brown still on the mound now for Stratford. And there's a fastball up high. So what looked like a battle is now blown open a bit. Now it's 2-1, if not 3-1. Pat Brown has pitched pretty well. He's given up 3 hits, struck out 3, but he's walked 4. And there's one swing and a miss, strike 3. So after his team puts up a 3 spot in the top of the 5th, Pat Brown comes out and strikes the first batter of Trumbull out, and that's his 4th strikeout of the game so far. Brings up the left-handed hitting Jack Lynch. Lynch lined to second his last time up, grounded out to second, so he's pulled the ball both times. So we said before, Stratford had to win this game. It's not over yet, but they have to win it in order to move on. First pitch curve gets inside, rolls to the backstop. It's 0-1 now to big, tall Jack Lynch for Trumbull. And here's the pitch. It's a squirrel, the foul ball, down the left field rolled into the dugout, basically off the face of the dugout of Stratford on the third base side. Trumbull is the home team in this game. It's the second of 3. They won the first game yesterday 3-2. There will be a third game, assuming Stratford wins, and that's going to be tonight. So here's Jack Lynch with the wiggled back behind him, and there's a hard line drive, ground ball rather to the second baseman. He bobbles it, picks it up, and did he recover in time? No. So that's going to be an error on the second baseman. That's the first error committed by Stratford here this afternoon. And Trumbull has a 1-out base runner now, trailing by 5. As Alex Rosso steps up, singled and walked so far here today. Catcher for Trumbull. He's done yeoman's work this year for Trumbull. We watched him at least 3 times. Back there is a pretty good one. He's already thrown out 1 runner to today. Here's the first pitch, a curve, and it spins over the plate for strike 1. So it's 0-1 now to Alex Rosso. So far, 6 runs, 8 hits, 1 error, 3 left on base for Stratford. 1 run on only 2 hits, 1 error, and 6 left on. There's a ground ball slow up the third baseline foul. And so we'll do it again. Cheshire defeated Meriden today 3-0, so Cheshire moves on to the Super Regionals. That game started at 3 o'clock. This afternoon up there at Cheshire High School, Don Boyle on the call. That video game is now completed, so welcome to those who have decided to step over here and listen to this game. And here's the pitch, fastball up high. Put a little extra on it, but to no avail. It all fell apart last inning with the big error at short. After two, the leadoff guy got on. The second guy gets on. After one out, there's two guys got on and an error. There's a chopper foul. And a couple of big hits, a big 2 RBI double by Tyler Vancho in one inning, and a big 2 RBI double by Alex Wojcinski in another one. After Zach Perot got a big double in the fourth inning. So Stratford hitting a few balls in the gap. And here's the pitch. Curve, it's popped up in the infield, and the second baseman yelling to call it off. That's Wojcinski, and he makes the catch. So with 2 outs, that brings up Dan Rachowski. He got an infield single lined out to center his first time up. As he stretches out with that bat behind his back, and he takes a few cuts to step back in. Trumbull is the home team in this game. They'll switch back, I believe, in the third game and be the visitors should there be a third game. And here's the pitch, and it's a hit out to right center. It's going to be a tough one for the center fielder. He can't make the catch as it bounces in. And the runner, Lynch, gets all the way to third base. So now Trumbull has runners at the corners with 2 outs. So the fourth hit of the game for Trumbull. And that's going to bring up Andy Loico. Andy struck out line to left. In that game on Sunday against North Haven, where Loico got one of the big hits for his team. He was 2 for 3 with a 2 RBI double. And there's a fly ball to left field. It looks like under it, and you can see the sun off the shades of the left fielder as he makes the catch. So Trumbull leaves 2 on base here in the 5th. No runs, 1 hit, there was an error, and there's 2 runners left on base here. That's the 7th and 8th runners. Trumbull is left on base here this afternoon. After 5 full innings, the score, Stratford 6 and Trumbull 1. We'll be right back with more American Legion baseball action here on Sporting News CT after this.
Work every day, serving America in so many ways. That's why I belong.
While I was overseas, the American Legion was behind me all the way, supporting me and my family back home when they needed help. Now I'm a proud member.
When I left the military, I wanted my fellow veterans to have the care and the benefits they deserve. That's why I belong to the American Legion.
I never thought the Legion would have anything for me, but they taught me about teamwork and sportsmanship, and they helped me get into college.
The American Legion. We're at work every day, serving America in so many ways. That's why I belong.
Well, Zone 4 ended up with 3 teams in the regional tournament here in Connecticut, as they had Greenwich, Stanford, and Trumbull from Zone 4 made it to the regional tournament. Stanford playing Oakville, Greenwich down there playing at home against Middletown, who's also had a great season this year. We move on to the top of the 6th inning. Leading off for Stratford will be Jonathan Brooks. Jonathan has struck out and singled so far this afternoon. So he wiggles that wooden bat behind his head. And here's the pitch there's a squirrel back to the mound, backhanding it's the pitcher. That's Jared Rosen, and he makes the play 1-3. Rosen came on with 2 outs last inning and got the final out. After Vin DeRubis came in relief to pitch to the 2 lefties, he wasn't successful in relief of starter Mike D'Agostino, who didn't pitch badly. He did strike out 5, but gave up 6 hits, but he ended up giving up a hit, an error, and a walk last inning, and then it all busted open with another single. There's a foul ball right side by Christian Bradley, the left fielder. Christian got a base hit and an RBI in the 2nd inning and then struck out. So he steps back in, the 0-1 count. Jared Rosen now, glove in front of his face, winds up and deals. There's a chopper foul on the 3rd baseline. This Trumbull team, a combination of Trumbull High and some from St. Joe's, and same for Stratford. They have 2 from St. Joe's, 1 from Prep and the rest from Stratford High and Bunnell High. And here's the 2-strike pitch, just missed upstairs. So Jared Rosen plays his high school ball at Trumbull High. He graduated this year, 5'10", 180, according to their roster, as he has that glove in front of him. Way up high, covering, almost is just below his eyes. Fastball, swing and a miss, strike 3. Good hard fastball from Rosen. And he strikes out Bradley, so 2 outs, and up comes Zach Dunkel. As we said before, Zach, one of those players that plays for St. Joe's, is he had to face his teammate and actually battering mate, D'Agostino, in an at-bat here this afternoon. And here's the first pitch to him. He line drive right at the third baseman, who leaps up and snags it, does Andrew Loiko. So Dunkel hit it hard, but to no avail. It can be an unforgiving game sometimes. No runs, no hits, no errors here for Stratford. The top of the 6th, but they lead it by the score of 6-1. We'll be right back with the bottom of the 6th. See if Trumbull can poke back after this.
Joined. I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's because they know what I'm going through. They've been here before, and when I looked into it, I discovered that there was a way for me to continue to serve my fellow veterans and my community through the American Legion. That's why I joined. I never realized
Welcome back to Penders Field, with Stratford with a significant, or basically a commanding 6-1 lead. His first batter for Trumbull is Anthony Sochi, swings and misses at the first pitch. Still on the mound for Stratford's Pat Brown. He's given up 4 hits, struck out 4, walked 4 in 5 innings of work. And here's a line drive right at the shortstop. Nice backhand snap by Neil Velasquez. Couldn't hit it much harder than Sochi did with that wooden bat, but it didn't matter. There's 1 up and 1 down here in the bottom of the 6th. Brings up Jake Teixeira. Well, actually, it brings up Jared Rosen. The pitcher takes over and bats in Teixeira's DH spot. They lose the DH. Curveball in there for strike 1. So it's 1-0-1 now to Jared Rosen. And here's another. It looks like it took a little off. Fastball at the knee, so it's 0-2. It's like Brown tried to sidearm a little bit there and got that ball right at the knee. Shakes off 2 pitches in a row, now gets the one he wants and deals. Hard fastball up and out. Tried to put a little extra mustard on that one, but it was up and out. So it's 1-2 now to Jared Rosen. And here's the pitch. And that one bounces in front of the plate. So it's 2-2 to Rosen. And here's the 2-2. See if he messes around with him again. And he throws that one. Nice pitch down low. Looked like he turned it over a little bit, and he gets the strikeout. 5th strikeout of the game for Pat Brown, and Trumbull will now send up the top of the order. Dustin Segura will step up to the plate now. Oh, it looks like we might have I'm sorry, that's Dan Cellini, number 9 hitter. And he takes strike 1. Dan had singled and grounded out to second. Cellini, a 2016 Trumbull High graduate. As he hits the first one, it bloops out to the shortstop on 1 bounce. He'll throw it to first, and did he make the scoop? No, they're saying he's off the bag. So that's going to be an error on the shortstop, saying he's off the bag at first base. So the second error of the day committed by Stratford. And with 2 outs now, Trumbull has a base runner. And now time is called as they're going to check with the home plate umpire is going to check with the first base umpire, see if he needed any help as to whether the guy was on base, saying he's safe. So the fielder was off, first baseman was off the bag. Took a real short hop to the shortstop. Made that quick throw, but it bounced, and first baseman had to stretch away. So here's the first pitch now to Texera. It's popped up in foul ground. It is playable. And the first baseman, Brooks, makes the catch. So there was an error, but it didn't make any difference. There's no runs, no hits, 1 error. 1 runner left on base for Trumbull. They've now left 9 on base. We threw 6 full innings, and we're going to the top of the 7th with the score remaining. Stratford 6 and Trumbull 1.
All right, this is Adam. Take 2. Mark?
I guess.
I go like this.
The best part about playing football in Texas has to be the reaction from the community.
I want to encourage others to play volleyball or choir because you get to experience new things and do stuff that you've never done before. My reason why is passion.
My reason why is pride.
All right, this is Adam. Take 2. Mark?
I guess.
I go like this.
The best part about playing football in Texas has to be the reaction from the community.
I want to encourage others to play volleyball or choir because you get to experience new things and do stuff that you've never done before. My reason why is passion.
My reason why is pride.
All right, this is Adam. Take 2. Mark?
I guess.
I go like this.
The best part about playing football in Texas has to be the reaction from the community.
I want to encourage others to play volleyball or choir because you get to experience new things and do stuff that you've never done before. My reason why is passion.
My reason why is pride.
All right, this is Adam. Take 2. Mark?
Well, back here at Penders Field, the first batter up for Stratford in the top of the 7th innings. The leadoff hitter, Connor Anstis, who follows the first pitch off. Connor is 1 for 3 on the day, grounded to third, grounded to short, and singled and scored a run in that 3-run 5th inning. And he takes a strike 2 down the middle. Still pitching for Trumbull is Jared Rosen. For Stratford, they got 1 run in the 2nd inning, 2 in the 4th, 3 in the 5th. For Trumbull, they got their lone run in the bottom of the 1st inning. And here's the pitch. That one's a curve down low and hits the ground and ricochets off in front of me. For Stratford, they got 6 runs on a total of 8 hits. They've committed 2 errors and left 3 runners on base. So far for Trumbull, they've gotten only 1 run on 4 hits. They committed 1 error, but they've left 9 runners on base. Just haven't got the ability, haven't had the chance to push them across, I guess. Here's a fastball outside. Connor Anstis, the leadoff hitter and designated hitter for Stratford. Rosen with the glove again in front of his eyes. He winds up from the first base side of the rubber and throws it. There's a hard 2-bouncer to Lynch. It's short. Gets it. Throws it on the run and makes the play. Lynch can sometimes make those acrobatic plays at shortstop. And that was one of them as he charges it. It's a lot easier to field it off of this field than it is at his home field, Trumbull. This field, you haven't seen a bad hop yet as it bounces off the artificial turf. All artificial turf on this field except on the mound. Neil Velasquez steps in. Neil is 1 for 3 on the day, has scored a run, got on an error, and singled. It's a first pitch ball. It's the battle of trying to save your pitching for Trumbull's. Darubas came in and threw to 2 batters. Then they brought in Rosen. There's a fly ball to shallow left center. And looks like Sochi may call off. No, the left fielder, Cellini, takes it. And they were both a little too close for comfort with each other out there. As that's scored an F7, and that's going to be 2 outs, and that's going to bring up the left-handed Anthony Herman, the center fielder, Anthony has been hit by a pitch and walked, but he scored 2 runs. Big hitters for today. Tyler Vancho has gotten 2 singles, two singles, one of them a 2 RBI single. Zach Perot got a big double. There's a pop-up in the infield. Hit by Herman. Calling for it is Lynch, and he makes the one-handed grab over his head. And 1-2-3 does Stratford go here in the 7th. We'll be back with the bottom of the 7th innings. Last chance for Trumbull. They need 5 runs. See if they can do it after these commercial messages.
American Legion, we're a powerful force for the nation. We're the largest veterans service organization in the nation. We're committed to making sure all veterans receive the benefits they deserve for the sacrifices they've made in service to America. If you're a veteran in need of help or support, please contact us. Go to legion.org to find out more about the American Legion's commitment of service to America. The American Legion.
I go like this.
The best part about playing football in Texas has to be the reaction from the community.
I want to encourage others to play volleyball or choir because you get to experience new things and do stuff that you've never done before. My reason why is passion.
My reason why is pride.
All right, here we go, and it's the bottom of the 7th inning, the last chance for Trumbull to try to get going here. And standing in there now is Vinny DeRubis. And Pat Brown still on the mound for Stratford, and the first pitch is up high for ball 1. And the first pitch, a ground ball to Perot at third base. Sorry about that. And 1 up, 1 down here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Perot, the big guy at third base. And we have 1 up, 1 down. So 2 outs left now for Trumbull as Jack Lynch, big left-handed hitter, steps in. And he hits a long fly ball down the right field line. That's going to hook foul. And it goes over the second stanchion of stands down there, the right field line. A few fans sitting in the shade out in straight center field and right field in this metal football stands. Some behind us. There is a pitcher warming up in the bullpen for Stratford. Don't know if he's getting ready for his work for the next game. Pat Brown has gone all the way, giving up 5 hits, 4 strikeouts, and Lynch now rips one right over the second baseman's head. It's a single with 1 out here for Jack Lynch, as that is the 5th hit of the game for Trumbull, or 6th hit. Let me just add those up again and check it. 1. Well, I got him as the 5th hit of the game. It's only 5 hits off Pat Brown. We got 1 out, and Alex Rosso comes up. Alex is 1 for 2 and walked. There's 5-run lead, so that tying or winning run is somewhere in that Trumbull dugout. As Rosso just has to try to get on base. Brown trying to shut it off. There's a high fly ball to center field. That's deep out to center field. Chasing his center field. Running, and he makes the catch with a rundown catch. Lynch will have to step on second, run all the way back to first base. And he does. A towering fly ball to Anthony Herman, who makes that grab way out there in straight center field. Over the shoulder as the runner had actually passed second base. Had to come back, step on it, and get all the way back to first. And that's going to bring up the left-handed hitting Dan Rachowski as Trumbull is down to their final out. As he takes strike 1. Brown from the stretch kicks and deals. There's a bloop foul off the cage, off the backstop part of it, in front, right next to the Stratford dugout. So Rachowski trying to keep his team alive in this game. They trail by 5 with a runner on first. Lynch, he's going nowhere. Surprising that the first baseman is not playing behind him. And there's a pop foul out of play. So there's down to the last strike is Trumbull. they're not out of it, as they will play another game should they lose this one to determine who goes to the Super Regional. And now, pitcher Pat Brown comes set and deals. Hard fastball, misses outside. Tried to put a little extra on it to end the game. Couldn't get it done. Brown goes back on the rubber now. Wachowski steps back in. 2-strike pitch by Pat Brown, and here it is. Outside ball. And 2 strikes now on the hitter. Brown looks at the runner at first quickly. Now he deals. Curveball. That one's popped up. It should be played. Second baseman over. Shortstop over. He calls it, makes the catch. Ball game is over. And no runs, 1 hit, no errors. 1 runner left on base for Trumbull. And Stratford has won this game by the score of 6-1 in approximately half an hour. They will play game 2. We'll see if we're going to do it here on Sporting News, as we'll wrap it up in 30 seconds or so. And we'll find out from Don Boyle if he's going to stop down here and do the second game with me, or I'm heading out.
Powerful force for the nation. We're the largest veterans service organization in the nation. We're committed to making sure all veterans receive the benefits they deserve for the sacrifices they've made in service to America. If you're a veteran in need of help or support, please contact us. Go to legion.org to find out more about the American Legion's commitment of service to America. The American Legion, we're a powerful force for the nation. We're the largest veterans service organization in the nation. We're committed to making sure all veterans receive the benefits they deserve for the sacrifices they've made in service to America. If you're a veteran in need of help or support, please contact us. Go to legion.org to find out more about the American Legion's commitment of service to America.
The American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's because they know what I'm going through. They've been here before, and when I looked into it, I discovered that there was a way for me to continue to serve my fellow veterans and my community through the American Legion. That's why I joined. I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's because they know what I'm going through. They've been here before, and when I looked into it, I discovered that there was a way for me to continue to serve my fellow veterans and my community through the American Legion. That's why I joined. I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's because they know what I'm going through. They've been here before, and when I looked into it, I discovered that there was a way for me to continue to serve my fellow veterans and my community through the American Legion. That's why I joined.
Well, the final score here from Penders Field in Stratford, Connecticut is Trumbull has lost this game by the score of 6-1, but not to be too defeatist for Trumbull, as they have the third game coming up, as Trumbull beat Stratford yesterday by a score of 3-2. They lost the second game now 6-1. So Stratford has stayed alive, and both these teams will play a third game in approximately half an hour to determine who goes to the Super Regional Southern Division. So let's go over the line score now for Stratford. They got 1 run in the second inning, 2 in the fourth, 3 in the fifth. It's going to be 6 runs on a total of 8 hits. They committed 2 errors and left only 3 runners on base. For Trumbull, they scored their only run in the first inning and all zeros on the board after that, as they got 1 run on a total of 5 hits. They committed an error, but they left 10 runners on base here today. Well, winning pitcher is Pat Brown. He went the entire distance for Stratford and, as he said, gave up 5 hits. He struck out 4, walked 4, and a pretty good effort by him here this afternoon to keep his team alive. For Trumbull, Mike D'Agostino started off pretty well. He only gave up 1 run through 3 innings. They gave up 2 more after he hit a batter and gave up a big double to Zach Perot. for Trumbull, and that ended up putting Stratford ahead by a score of 3-1. But then the wheels came off after he struck the leadoff batter out in the 5th. And then after that, there was a single, an error, and then there was a walk, and then a big 2 RBI single by Tyler Vancho for Stratford, and the wheels came off Trumbull's cart, so to speak, as they fell behind by the score of 6-1. And then they did not score a run after that, and Pat Brown, who pitched stellar here today, as I said, for Stratford, hung on to get the victory. So the winning pitcher today, this afternoon, is Pat Brown. The loser is Mike D'Agostino for Trumbull. And both of these teams will play at approximately 6 o'clock, 6 o'clock start. I'm waiting for word from Don Boyle as to whether or not we're going to have that game or whether or not we'll be heading out of here and picking up another game in the future. So I will switch to some commercials for a while, and stay tuned here on SportingNewsCT.com so I can let you know one way or the other. Well, I'll play 2 commercials, and then we'll go off the air, and then you can listen back at 6 to see if we have it back on. Well, that'll do it here from Stratford Penders Field in Game 2 of the regional tournament, with the final score one more time, Stratford winning this game by a score of 6-1.
While I was overseas, the American Legion was behind me all the way, supporting me and my family back home when they needed help. Now I'm a proud member.
When I left the military, I wanted my fellow veterans to have the care and the benefits they deserve. That's why I belong to the American Legion.
I never thought the Legion would have anything for me, but they taught me about teamwork and sportsmanship, and they helped me get into college.